Righto guys, just in my favourite scrapyard. Just found some metal to make some rock sliders for my Suzuki Sierra. You guys call it a Samurai in the States. So yes, this will be a short movie on making some rock sliders. Righto, got all the materials strapped down. Rossi Sierra. Off we go. Yeah, 20 bucks for my new rock sliders. Here are the materials we got. Flat steel, rolled RHS. Let's see how we go, eh? Alright, we've measured along here where we're going to run our slider. Come up about 1.10 meters. So we've got our scrap steel here. We're going to chop that end off here. So from here to over here, that'll be 110. And we go from here to over there, it'll be another 110. We may have enough material left over to complete the project, but we'll see. Alrighty, we've just used a speed square. We're just going to have the ends at 45. So this is slider number 1, and over here is slider number 2. So we'll go throw them in the drop zone. Just make sure to use your eyes and ears, because you can use a wooden leg but you can't see through a wooden eye, so protect your eyes. Okay, we've got our 2 pieces cut up. I've labelled them just so we can keep all the pieces together we need. So basically the theory is, here's your car, and yeah, that will go under there. So they're the rails. So now we've got to fabricate the plates. I like to have it to bolt around the chassis, and no drilling or welding on there, so just keep it all normal. Okay, let's begin. I've got to make up 2 brackets now to mount to the chassis. And now I'm a big fan of cardboard assisting design. So basically we want this here and have enough space for our bolts to go through and to work out what we need. So we can just fold that like that, and that will give us what we need to cut from here. As you can see, we've got the side, we've got the bottom we have to make, and this we can just make a duplicate and make the other side. And the brackets are going to be different from driver's front and driver's rear, because the position and the shape is slightly different. Just keep that in mind. And what we do here, we take our cardboard template, and we take that off, and then we use that to measure our plates that we'll be making to go around the chassis. So you'll see this is a side plate, that's a bottom, so plate 1, bottom, plate 2. And then we just get it nice and straight using the set square. Okay, we've got our first batch of plates cut. Time to work on the other ones. As you can see here, we put our plate through and we've marked the top of the chassis, and that will tell us where we can put our bolt holes. Here is the other side. So what we will do to get even bolt holes on both sides, we'll place it on top of the other one, and what I'll do, I'll weld them together, and then we'll be able to drill 2 holes, and that will line up with the other plate. Okay, I decided something different. Instead of using my Lincoln MIG welder, I'll use my little cheap eBay inverter welder. I got this about 4 years ago. It's supposedly meant to go up to 200 amps, but yeah, it's about 120 bucks eBay, Rossi, and honestly it's been a good little welder. Not sponsored by these guys, but yeah, I've built my rear bar, a trailer, and many other little things. It's just just enjoyable to use actually. So the MIG gets a bit boring if you catch my drift, so it's good to go old school. So let's tack these together. Okay, this is all tacked together now. So this should let us to be able to use a drill and chuck some holes in there, and hopefully they will line up. I wanted to buy a nice bench drill, but I don't have enough money at the moment, so we'll use the hand drill. Go slow, plenty of lubrication. We'll start with our pilot holes, and then we'll move up to the holes we need to fit the bolts. I don't have any cutting lubricant on me handy, but a bit of graphite grease on the end, and just work nice and slowly, and she punches through. Here we go, with a bit of patience, we've punched through. It's quite thick, and we didn't smoke our bit. You just go nice and slow, plenty of lube, you know how it goes. Hi guys, must have been a bit dyslexic. Wasn't a 9mm hole needed, I need a 10mm. So I don't know where I got 9 from, but it's too snug. So we'll drill this out and I'll be back to you. Now we have the correct size for the bolt. That fits nice and snug. Okay friends, we just tidied up the edges with a grinder and made it a little bit more even. So when we can begin welding, the gods should favour us, hopefully, and get nice speeds. Here's the general theory on how the bracket will go. It's going to kind of look like this. And what we're going to do, we're going to fit it over the chassis rail, clamp it in place, and then do tack welds, because just get a better, tighter fit. And if I just say, for example, weld it here, knowing my luck, it's probably not going to fit, and I'm going to have a few swears. So let's get cracking. Getting a bit late in the day, but you can see the basic theory. So we've got both plates through there, bolted up the top, and then we've used this quick clamp down here to secure this bottom plate in. And now what I'll do, I'll tack weld this up, get it stable, and then pull it off, and we should be able to lay some beads and get the first bracket done. Okay, we've tacked it in place. I do not recommend welding upside down with a stick. You get some nice hot burny bits on you. But we've done what we need to do, so now we can take this off and begin welding it properly. Alright, we just rigged this up. Hopefully this should stop it from moving around when we lay some beads in there. So I'm thinking to lay some in here perhaps, and underneath. But just taking it easy with the heat so I don't distort the plates too much. Well, I dialed my settings in a bit wrong, so it shouldn't look the sexiest. But you know what they say, grinder and paint makes you the welder you ain't. So should clean up. On the next ones, hopefully it'll be a bit nicer, but this will do. Alright, we've now finished one bracket. She lives up there. So now we've just got to do the other one over here. And then we can begin bolting the slider frame coming out here and popping out under here somewhere. It's late in the day, so I'm going to call it, and we'll smash this out tomorrow. Okay, we've finished all our plates, and now we'll begin to weld them up around the frame. I drilled the holes out to 11mm, just so that these bolts fit a bit easier. I noticed before they were a bit tight. This will give you a little bit of wriggle room. Shouldn't affect the overall product. Also, just to let you know, this is galvanized. So if you're welding with this, make sure you either grind all this away or wear some very good breathing protection. Galvanized is not nice. Just found out that this brick is about the same size as my chassis. So I'll use this so it doesn't deform when I'm welding it, and these bolts should hold it in place, and hopefully it keeps it all square. Turned out better. That's our second bracket done. A little bit of porosity there, but you know, she'll be right. With a lick of paint, be no problems. But plenty solid enough. Okay, all the brackets are made up. One bracket's still on the car, but we have 4 brackets. So what we will do, we will prepare the face of this, and then very shortly we will weld some RHS to this to begin the support structure for the rock sliders. Yeah, using this little brick saved a lot of time, and just really lucky that it's the same size as the Suzuki chassis rail. So it's a very valuable little brick now, and I'll keep this safe. But as you can see, we've got our plates bolted to the chassis, and now we can begin finding out the measurements from here to where we want our slider. If we want it up underneath the sill or sticking out so you can use as a side step, we'll figure that out now. Alright, so we decided we kind of want it like this. So that's fairly in line with the mud guards, not sticking out, and we can still use it as a side step to access the roof rack. So now we just got to figure out the distance between the slider itself and the plate and cut some steel. Okay, we've worked out what we needed. The front will be 33 front drivers, and we chop that here, and then we've got 30 for the rear driver side, and we'll chop this here. Unfortunately, we don't have enough material for the other side, so I'll have to go down to the steel shop, pick something up. But yeah, you can only do what you can do, eh? So we'll put this through the chop saw and move on to the next stage. That's our 2 bits cut. Next we'll have to have a look and see how she fits. Beautiful. Alright, here we have the beginning of the slider. The support's done on one side, and I'll just have to work out where the other side goes, and we'll tack that up as well and make sure it all fits. This part's a bit tricky, so I've had a few swears because this setup's precarious. Yeah, too late in the day, need a beer. So if you've got a better way of doing it, do it. Okay, we've got it to where we kind of want it. It's a bit precarious, but not bad. So what I'll do, I'll get under there and throw some tack welds on. And this will probably be the end of today, and smash it on tomorrow. There you going, guys. Alright, I ran out of welding rods, so I've gone over to my trusty MIG. Just flux core. See, a little bit of a dog's breakfast, but what can you do? So I'll let this cool, and then we'll begin to cap off the ends. Okay, we've gone and bought some more steel so we can finish our project. Just with our measurement before, it was 33. I found that 32 was better for fitment. The other one's still 30, so we'll put these through the chop saw, and we can begin making the other side. Righto, I just found it's a bit easier on the next run to use this little jig tack weld it, and then I can line everything up. And also it's not Confederate, that's Novorossiya. That's in the Donetsk People's Republic. Look it up. It's some bad shit going down there. So we've got the other support tacked on. So now we can go underneath the car and tack these to the plates that surround the chassis, and hopefully bring her out and weld her up. Okay, here we have our two plates, our slider. So we'll probably use these two car jacks to lift this up evenly, and then we should be able to get it to where we need it to and do two tacks. So let's see how we go. Alright, highly recommend. This is heaps easier than last time. So this lets me get it up gradually to where I want it, as you can see. So if you've got a mate, a girlfriend or a son or a brother, get them to hold it, but this works out well. So I'll do some final adjustments and then I'll be able to tack it onto the plates. Alright, we can see that's tacked up and it's holding its own weight. So now what we have to do is carefully remove this from the frame, and then we can begin welding it up properly. We just have to be careful now that we don't break the tacks and then have to do all this stuff again. It's quite frustrating when that happens. But yeah, using the MIG just with a flux core, it's actually heaps easier than the stick. So I think I'll finish the rest of this project using the flux core. I'm too poor for gas at the moment, and as much as I love stick, this is just a lot easier. Okay, here we go. Here is the second slider for the passenger side. So the tack's held up with removal. So now we're just gonna run, well first we'll clean it up, and then we'll run some beads and see how we go. Alright, this time with the flux core it's been a bit better. It's been a lot more diligent cleaning, wire brushing after every run. I had a bit of a bad fit up over here, had a bit of a gap, but we filled that up. So it's not the prettiest, but overall I'm happy with that. That's fine. Alright, we're almost finished welding this one. You can see here, not too shabby. Yeah, using the MIG definitely speeds things up. So I just got a few more little welds to do, and then that'll be it for the night. And then tomorrow we can cap the ends of both of them and prep for paint. And I've also got a little surprise. I'm going to be running air fittings into these and pressurizing them as small air tanks, only to about 100 psi. So it shouldn't be anything catastrophic if it explodes, but you've got bigger problems if these are getting breached, just a side impact or something like that. So 100 psi is going to be fine. Alright, that's it for today. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do I need to go to school? Not bad, not good. But that'll be solid enough for the old Suzuki. So yep, tune in soon. Okay, we drilled a hole. We got this type of fitting. We're gonna push that in there, and then we're gonna weld that flush, and that should provide a seal. Okay, got an air plug welded in. Sweet. So now I'll begin putting the end caps on, and then we'll do a pressure test and check for any leaks. Alright, we've capped the ends and we ground them nice and flush. So what we'll do now, I'll fire up the Suzuki and we'll put some air into this and see if we get any leaks. If no leaks, then we'll go ahead and make a hole for the drainage and get them painted up. Okay, we've got a leak over here and a leak over here, so we'll get the welder and patch them up. We just had a small air leak around these threads, so we're just going to seal it with some Loctite pipe sealant, so that should take care of that. And after this we'll pop that drain in and paint, and then this slider is done. Okay, she's holding pressure now. I've just tapped in a small drain bung. Just the position of this, it could be a worry it might get hit by a rock. I'll see by trial and error, but now it's just time to clean it up and paint it, and then begin process on the other one, and then these sliders will be finished. Alright, now just to throw some black on there, and it sure does make everything look better. So I'll just put a light coat on this, let it dry, and then put another coat on. So now I'll start on this one. Alright, got one cap on, and time to start the other. Making progress. Airline in, drain hole tapped. Now just to put the other cap on and we'll pressure test it. Well, the slider's all done, all finished. Capped both ends, I put the air fitting, and I had a few leaks, but how you find them is normally get some dishwashing spray, pop that on there, and then it bubbles up if you've got a leak. So far all good. Just give it a final grind, just clean up a few things with the flap disc, and then paint it, and then we should be ready. What do you reckon, boys? Rock slider, air tank. It's all good. Yeah, boy. Probably the best part about the job is throwing some paint on. Makes it look $1,000,000. Alright, I'll let these dry overnight, and in the morning we should be able to mount them. Look heaps better when it's painted black, so I'm very happy with them. And then later on I'll have to plumb up a air system, but that's for another video. Okay, cheers guys. Okay, we're ready to install the passenger side slider. So now we'll put this up here and bolt it in, and I will make a video and show you. Alright guys, we've got it all mounted up. So far so good, looking nice. Alright, thanks for watching, and yeah, should have some new projects in the future. Alright, love, peace and chicken grease.